Good afternoon, good Friday afternoon. Top of the hat to you. I am walking to JFK's gravesite and RFK. They're on the hill together up here in Arlington Cemetery in Virginia. Just really one of my personal heroes. JFK was against the military-industrial complex, a man that was always in favor of words over war, and outsmarted his people and his adversaries while he was in office. A very short term, 3 years. Too short. Should have been king, really, of America. I can tell you that his death was brought upon just those beliefs, really. The belief of non-violence and non-military action was his downfall. Lyndon B. Johnson was really the orchestrator of his murder. That's a fact. I'm going to attach a video by the great Douglas P. Horne that headed up a committee of people in the 90s and has really never stopped investigating the murder of JFK by Lyndon B. Johnson, the FBI, the CIA, and the Secret Service. Not to mention their involvement with the CIA's involvement with the mob that really were the bullets that did him in the end in Dallas on November 22nd, the weekend there of November 22nd, 1963. So Douglas P. Horne, the great man, the great American, exposed, the cover-up with the Zapruder film. Zapruder film is a highly poorly altered, non-original film. The film that you see online or at the archives is not the original Zapruder film. The original Zapruder film was a lot more graphic, a lot more detailed than the one you can see. They've removed many frames and blocked in the wounds of Kennedy's head from the back very crudely. As you'll see, it's a 6-hour video, but if you're a good American or just a good person, you should take 6 hours out of your life and watch it and just realize really what our government really is, a big cover-up. As a coup d'etat that happened and a huge cover-up that followed, and really Trump needs to really make the situation correct and lay out the murderers, Hoover, Johnson, the CIA guy that was fired, forget his name right now at the top of my head, but I'll leave it in my notes if I can. But I'm going to pause it right now. I'm going to walk up to his site there and pay him some respect, the great man that he was. So as I was saying, this is the final resting place of JFK, my hero, royalty of America, murdered in cold blood, the streets of Dallas. His adversaries, Lyndon B. Johnson, J. Edgar Hoover, Dulles of the CIA, former leader of the CIA, inspired by Kennedy, covered up by the Warren Commission, including Gerald Ford, took the secret to his grave. It's a well-known group in Washington. Kennedy was murdered in a coup d'etat in 1964. Until we rectify the past, we can't deal with the future here in this country. We've got to rectify the past before we can move the future right. We do have a wonderful government led by this will come out in the open. We'll remove the names off the building, off the Johnson Space Center and the Hoover building in Washington. It's a disgrace that we have these men still on the names of our federal buildings. Trump, we're asking you to do the right thing and make it right for the country. And although Oswald wasn't completely innocent, he didn't pull any trigger either. So let's rewrite the history books, let's get it straight, and let's move forward. Love you. Hey everybody, Peter again. Just on my way to see Mr. Jefferson. This is actually my first time walking on over to spend time in his memorial. I consider Jefferson to be the greatest founding father that we've ever had. Really the architect of the Declaration of Independence, which is something I hope that we can strive toward when the Lord takes over. I'll probably use that document for a good foundation of what he wants. But you know, Jefferson was a great Christian, escaping the tyranny of the King of England. And you know, we find ourselves today in a similar situation, you know, escaping the tyranny of our lousy government that all they care about is getting elected and not giving really a darn about us, about the people that they're supposed to serve. You know, it's about power, free healthcare probably for them, for most of them. And really, you know, how can you not work together to improve our country for the good of all people? I mean, there's so much wealth in this country. If you look around, you know, I just drove down the coast of Maine, the coast of New Hampshire, Rhode Island, New York, Connecticut. The money's sick. You know, the homes that, you know, these are summer homes on the ocean, worth, you know, millions of dollars, times, you know, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of homes up there. People come up for the summer for a month or two and use it. You know, there's enough wealth in this country to take care of everybody, you know, more than equally. I mean, as far as, I'm not talking about socialism, I'm talking about, you know, even just the use of money, the use of things, cars, taxes. You know, there's so much wealth here that really, for us to be living, for the majority of us, living essentially paycheck to paycheck. Yeah, you know, we got our 10 or 20 grand, 30 grand, 50, 100 grand kicking around, just, you know, but God forbid, you know, you end up in the hospital for a week or 10 days or a couple months, or even get a stroke. Kiss it goodbye, you know, kiss it all goodbye. And then, you know, I've noticed, you know, most of the elderly in this country, of all the wealth that they've saved their whole lives, you know, their businesses they've had and they've sold and their investments, you know, I've seen money in the amounts of over 10 grand a month to go toward nursing facilities for our elderly. I mean, it's a big scam, total scam, you know. So, you know, healthcare in this country, although they're trying to write a bill, it's never going to work when you have, you know, dozens of insurance companies in the middle glomming billions of dollars of profit from the people and then charging erroneous amounts of money. I spent one night in the hospital. I died on October the 26th, 2016 in Denver. And, you know, I got brought to the hospital in an ambulance, and you know, they brought me back to life. I did visit God that night. And anyway, you know, the bill was over 14 grand, you know, for a couple hours of care. I mean, it's absurd, right? So, you know, until we get everything lined up and really where it's supposed to be, this country can't be successful and happy. We can, you know, us Americans, we can't live week to week, check to check. It's just not. It's just not. Isn't that gorgeous? Washington was laid out beautifully by our forefathers. I'll just change the subject. With the Washington Monument in the center, anchored by the Lincoln Memorial. Abraham Lincoln was, you know, the Lincoln, by no mistake, the Lincoln brand car manufacturer was named after Lincoln by Henry Ford himself, Henry Ford's son. His favorite. And then, of course, the White House and the Capitol building, and then, of course, the Jefferson Memorial, which we're about to go see right now. So I'll check in with you in a minute. Well, I can tell you this, it's spectacular in size. It's just a lot bigger than it looks. In fact, it looks as large or larger than the Lincoln Memorial, which is phenomenal. Can't wait to see it. But Jefferson was a guy that he didn't believe in cities. He didn't believe in, he thought that if we were to conglomerate in cities, that we would fall like the Europeans did. Tyranny that followed in the cities, the squalor. If you drive around New York or take the Long Island Railroad, it's absolutely disgusting how people live. Their little micro boxes, caught up in their day-to-day life. I'm barefoot, by the way. Alright, so here he is. Let's go check him out. Isn't that amazing? Can't wait to see him.
Thank you so much. Thank you for so many years of kindness, loyalty, love, support. It's always the best place to come, as I said at the beginning of the show. I love the city, I love you guys, I love this building. And thank you for making my birthday a special event. Thank you, New York.
It's like Jesus on the cross up there.